Hello YouTube and fellow DC Comic fans, I'm Keith One Shot, and today we're going to do a live dramatic reading of the Man of Steel number 4 from DC Comics. This creature attacked my Fortress of Solitude and slaughtered the people of Kandar, and now he has pulled me back here to Metropolis. I assumed to kill me in front of my own people. He hasn't said a word, not one word, and I don't even know his name. This is the Man of Steel 4 from DC Comics. We start this story off with Superman and Supergirl battling a new unknown threat, Rugal Zar, who may have had a hand in the destruction of Krypton. Superman punches Rugal Zar in the face, sending him flying. Then Supergirl trails behind and cracks Rugal Zar in the face as well. We then hear Superman think to himself, "My cousin Kara is nothing but blind rage. She's right, but suddenly I remember something Cyborg said once. If someone, something, anything comes down this hard and this fast, they're counting on emotion. They're counting on me not stopping to think, for me to just react." Then Rugal Zar swings his axe at Supergirl, but she quickly dodges. Then his axe strikes a pole on the top of a building, which falls down and crashes into a nearby building, breaking the glass, which causes a woman to fall down. Then Supergirl quickly flies down and saves the woman. We then hear Superman think to himself as he flies towards Rugal Zar. "Every hit is just impact tremors rattling the city. I have to get him out of here. This punch, I can't give it more than an 8. Anything more than that, this city would tip over on its... That's why he lured me here. Not to drag me through the streets. Not to bruise my ego. Damn it!" Superman's punch just misses, as Rugal Zar dodges, then lands on a nearby roof. Then we hear Superman think to himself, "Smart. Fast. It's his power source. It has to be. It has to be coming from his staff. Okay, let's play Batman. Obvious alien tech, alien garb, alien textiles. He knows a lot more about me than I know about him. He defies the laws of physics, and he certainly hates my... I see it. I see his weakness. The sun. The Earth's yellow sun." As the fight continues, we see Perry White with Robinson Goode and Jimmy Olsen on the roof of the Daily Planet. As Jimmy Olsen takes pictures of the battle in the sky, we then see Rugal Zar attack Superman with a blast from his staff, which sends Superman flying through the Metropolis skyline. Then, as Superman flies back to attack, we hear him think to himself, "If the Earth's sun is boosting him to this power level, he's not fully prepared. I live here. I'm very used to it. Either way, I have to get him off Earth. Have to get him out of the city." Then, as Superman flies back to attack Rugal Zar, Rugal attacks Superman with another blast from his staff. Then Superman hears the voice of Lois and Jonathan say, "Clark! Dad! What is that? Clark!" Then Superman is sent flying back from Rugal Zar's attack. Then as Superman picks himself back up, we hear him think to himself, "I know that trick too. Hiding in the shadows, studying me, seeing how I react, seeing if I lose my cool and start throwing cars around. And I really want to. But why can't I find him with my X-ray vision?" Then Supergirl flies over to Superman and says, "Where'd he go? Did you lose him?" "He's hiding. You okay?" "Why is he hiding? He can hit." "I don't think he's hiding because he's scared. I think it's because he's 5 steps ahead of us. Maybe we hurt him more than we thought we did." "I don't think we hurt him at all. Get behind me." "I am behind you." Then suddenly Superman's eyes start glowing blue as he hears the memory from his past of Lois, Jonathan, and himself. "Clark! Dad! What is that?" "Get behind me, Lois!" "Clark! Are you okay? Clark, he's..." Meanwhile, as Superman is in a trance, Rugal Zar shoots a blast at him from his staff, causing Superman to fall out of the sky and crash into the ground. Then Rugal flies towards Superman, but Supergirl gets in the way. Then Rugal easily tosses her to the side as he shouts, "Not yet, you!" Then as Superman goes to stand up, he again hears the memory of that night with Lois, Jonathan, and himself. "Get behind me, Lois!" "Clark! Are you okay? Dad! Clark! Clark!" Then suddenly, Rugal Zar lands in the building Superman's in. Then he runs up and cracks Superman in the face, causing him to go flying. We then see the memory of the past, as lightning shoots out all around the huge metal robot that stands in front of Lois, Clark, and Jonathan. We then hear Lois shout, "Clark!" Then Clark says, "Get behind me, Lois!" Then Jonathan says, Dad, what is that? Then Lois says, now what is? Oh! Then Jonathan says, Dad, what is that? Dad, what is that? Then suddenly, the machine opens up, and a shadowy figure steps forward, and it turns out to be Mr. Oz, aka Jor-El, the father of Superman. Then as he steps forward, Jor-El says, hello Cal, Lois, young John. I am Jor-El. I am Cal's father. Then Lois says, I could tell you were his father. He doesn't know how to knock either. Then Clark says, this is really inappropriate, father. Then Jonathan says, I forget. Do I call you Grandpa? Then Jor-El looks down and says, I am here with purpose. I am here for the boy. Then Clark says, which boy? Then Lois says, this boy. Then Jonathan says, me boy. Then Jor-El reaches his hand out and says, my grandson, your son, the son of El. Come with me, son. Then Clark says, why? What's happened? Then Lois says, Clark! Then Jonathan says, Dad! Then Jor-El says, the son of El. Meanwhile, back in Metropolis after the fight, we see Hal Jordan talking to the woman who owned the deli that Superman crashed into during the fight. Then Hal says, excuse me, hello, hi, I'm the Green Lantern of this sector. Can you tell me exactly what you've seen and heard? Then the woman shouts, Superman came crashing down right into my deli. I have insurance. I'm not insane, but still. Then another woman says, did you know he went back to wearing the red shorts? Then a military woman walks over and says, hey, I'm Captain Maggie Sawyer, Metropolis Special Crimes Unit. The big alien accused Superman of stalling, which was rude. Then the fight headed down Puzo Plaza, that way. But I did hear him say, this isn't a fight, it's a cleansing. Then Hal Jordan says, a cleansing? Then Maggie Sawyer says, the big guy's awake. Then Hal Jordan turns around, and he sees Superman wake up inside of the green energy construct. Then Superman says, hey Hal, where's Supergirl? Then Hal replies, I just got here. Then Superman holds his head and says, hey, thanks for the assist. Then Hal says, are you okay? Then Superman says, did you see him? Then Hal replies, no. The civilian said he went that way, the second before I showed up. Maybe he knew I was coming. I was in pursuit, but... Then Superman turns around and says, he's out there. Then Hal replies, I scanned the area. Then Superman says, he's using tech and techniques I haven't felt or seen before. Then Hal tells Superman, he said cleansing. He used that word. Then Superman replies, it was my fault for asking. Then Superman tells Hal Jordan about the fight with Rugal Zar. We then see in the memory Rugal Zar standing over Superman as he kicks him in the face. Then Superman says, who are you? Then Rugal Zar tells him, I'm Rugal Zar. I cleanse the galaxy of the Kryptonian race. Your bloodline must end, once and for all. The Kryptonian sickness finally ends today. Just like I promised Jor-El, when I destroyed the planet Krypton. That's when I passed out. Then Superman says, I'd really feel so much better if everyone got off the streets. We have no idea what that creature is capable of. Then Maggie Sawyer shouts at the crowd, you heard the man. This is MSCU street curfew. It's effective immediately. Get inside. Now. Then Hal Jordan tells Superman, I'm going to have to call this in. Genocide, mass murder, mystery alien species. The Guardians of the Universe are definitely going to want to hear about this. Then Supergirl flies over and says, did you get him? Please tell me you got him. Then Superman and Supergirl fly in the sky, as Supergirl shouts, no! Damn it! Then Superman says, we'll find him, Kara. We'll get the League together. Then Supergirl says with sadness, Kandar! Then Superman looks down and says, Kandar! Then Supergirl flies away in anger. Then Hal Jordan shouts, no! No! Get her back here! Then Superman says, she's looking for him. Then Hal Jordan shouts, this guy says he's here to cleanse Kryptonians. We need a head count and hand check on every Kryptonian we know, from any Earth, in any reality. Who knows how wide this guy's holy purpose spreads? Where's your son? Later on, Superman flies back to the destroyed Fortress of Solitude, where Rugal Zar is waiting. Then Rugal says, "Why did you come back here?" Then Superman says, "I was just going to call someone, but you broke the only way I can get a hold of them." Then Rugal says, "Trying to warn another Kryptonian refugee. I'll find them." Then Superman says, "You knew my father?" Then Rugal tells him, "Probably better than you." Then Superman says, "This entire time, I couldn't decide if you were telling the truth about Krypton, or out of your head, or just doing and saying anything you could possibly do and say to get to me." Then Rugal says, "Do you have children? Have you procreated with these soft creatures?" Then Superman's eyes glow red in anger as he shouts, "My point exactly. Then I thought, just the fact that you tried so hard." Then suddenly, Superman releases a supernova of energy, creating a huge explosion. And that ends today's story. This has been Man of Steel Part 4 from DC Comics. And I'm your host, Keith One Shot. Comic published by DC Comics. All rights, text, characters, and storylines belong to DC Comics and their respective owners. Not me. If you like this video, make sure to check out the rest of my Comic Complete dramatic reading series and support DC Comics by picking up a copy of the trades and single issue comics. Support your local comic book shop. Take care and have a great day. Goodbye.